Hey Lovies, and welcome to my channel, Craft Away with May. I'm May. Welcome to my old and new subbies. I'm so glad to have you all here with me today. As a thumbnail show, we're going to be using some styrofoam extension cords. Yes, you heard me right, as well as some paper plates today, guys, because you guys already know what time it is. We are back again this month with another round of Just Our Imagination. I will have the host and co-host information in my description box below. This month, Kathy, Joe, and Brenda is being joined by Amy from the Singing Crafty Crafter. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and jump into our first project, starting with the extension cord. What you see I'm doing here is I'm just cutting it down. I'm going to say it was about 6 inches. I did not measure it. I just eyeballed it. And I'm sorry, guys, if I sound a little nasally today. I am not feeling my best. Again, I know I was coming down with something, so I think it's just finally surfaced. Just a little bit of a head cold. But anyway, I do apologize for that in advance. So what you see I'm doing here is I'm taking that extension cord and I'm just going to make like teardrop shapes with it, okay? Now, I do apologize because, again, I'm going to apologize for a whole lot, okay? Especially on this first project, it is a bit choppy because it was a bit lengthy. And, of course, my, me recording was all over the place. But I think somewhere along the way I may have edited this into the wrong place. So if you happen to see me doing this again, just ride with me. Let's just roll with it. Let's just go with the flow, okay? Let's not judge on here. I was just trying to get this all together. I had no idea what I was going to do when I sat down to the crafting table, and literally, as you guys see things happening here, it was unfolding that way. Okay, so right here I have these styrofoam cinder blocks that I've had in my stash for years. I mean years. I'm not even kidding. And I had completely forgot about them. And I got these from Daiso when I lived in California. And I just had put them to the side. When I moved here, I found them, of course, and I put them to the side, and I just was going to stack stuff up on top of them. And that's literally what I did. And so I just had remembered the other day that I had them. So I was like, okay, I'm going to take these out and use them, because I honestly had no idea what I was going to do. So I'm just painting them. I give them 3 coats of that sandstone color paint by Waverly. Then I decided to distress them. Now, this part I could have omitted, because once you see the damage I do to this, you're not going to even know that it was distressed, okay? I was trying to go for a dirty look, like dirt look. But anyway, I did that. So now I have this styrofoam mushroom that I picked up from Hobby Lobby, and I'm going to paint the bottom of it in burnt umber. That's also what I did the distressing in on the cinder blocks. And then I'm taking some of this check fabric here, or checkered fabric. I don't know. It's a pattern, okay? And I don't know why I chose this. I think it was just because of the mint green. Like I told you guys a couple videos ago, I am digging yellow and mint green this year for spring. So this is just what I pulled out. So I'm going to cover that because I was tired of painting at this point. There was a lot of painting here that I just omitted from the video. But I was like, we're just going to cover this in fabric at this point. So next, I'm taking some more of that extension cord, and I'm cutting it down, and I have this wooden house that I think I got from Dollar Tree. No, I got this from Michael's, and I'm gonna just outline a little bit of a roof here. So what we're gonna try to make is kind of a little garden oasis, okay? Fairy garden oasis. I don't know that it's really a fairy garden because I didn't put any fairies in it. I just put a couple bunnies and some flowers. So we're just going to call it a little miniature oasis, okay? So I'm outlining the roof there, and I'm just going in with some of my hot glue to help kind of, bring it together. And I gotta tell you now, this house was not its best. I don't think I told you, but I did paint the house in the cashew color paint by Waverly. I know you probably can't really tell because it's very similar to the color of the natural wood tone that was there, but it is actually painted. I painted these little embellishments. This is a little door. I think it's actually a church window, but I'm going to use it as a door. I painted that in burnt umber as well. And this first project is really about assembly, because I could have taken you guys through all the painting, but I'm telling y'all, I was tired of painting. It was a lot of painting. So then I decided, so in that little tub there, I had cut up a piece of the extension cord, like I split it down the middle, and then I just cut up a lot of little pieces for little bits of pieces, because you're going to see how I use that as we go forward. So right here, I decided my house needed some windows. And so I took some of those little tidbits there that I had cut up, and I just framed me some windows. And of course, you see that one is a little willy wonky. Of course it is, because who put it together? I did. Sure did. So, but we kept rolling because it was glued down. So then I'm going in with these little, the little fairy garden fences that comes in the, I forget what the name is, at Dollar Tree. So I'm going to glue those to the front of my house, because I figured, well, why not? Let's just keep going, you know, go hard or go home. That's what we're doing. Literally. We're going to glue those to that home. All right. So I get those attached and I'm going to show you that, because that's what I'm going to do. And I don't know what happens next, guys. But there you go. There's our little house. I do draw some little frames or little panes in the whatever. I make a little T thingy shape in the window off camera. I do that. So right here, this is the plug part, or the little plug part of it. And I took the little cap that covers the plug, you know, the insert part of the plug. And we're gonna make kind of like I couldn't think of what it's called, like a swing, but you know how it has the little, we're just gonna call it a swing, okay? But it's not gonna really swing. Can't think of what it's called. You know how the little thing that sits off in the garden, not a gazebo, arch, I don't know. Anyway, there you go. That's what we're gonna do with that. Then we're going to start assembling here, okay? So this is where it's kind of going to jump from, you know, piece to piece. And I hope you guys can follow along. If not, I apologize. But you will see everything at the final reveal. I just had to get through this. This was like almost a 3-hour-long video. And it was mostly because of this first project, because it was just so many different little bitty elements to it. So I had to condense it down as much as I could. So I apologize, lovies. Please accept my humblest apologies, and I hope you're able to follow along. So then next I'm going in with some of this moss that I picked up from Hobby Lobby. And I gotta tell y'all, okay, what you're about to see, what you're about to witness is a whole lot of moss. Okay, I'll put that moss on, just call it hot, what is called Frank's hot sauce, because I put it on everything, okay? And it looks, oh boy, it looks a hot mess from the top. Okay, but just stay with me. That's all I'm asking you guys to do. Just ride with your girl, and it's gonna make sense, okay? So here I'm taking some more of that extension cord that I chopped up. We're gonna make a little pathway to the door, and I'm just, I don't know, guys, I'm just going with it. I'm literally just going. Whatever my brain says to do to this piece, I'm doing it, because I was just lost, okay? So then I had this wagon wheel in my stash that I painted in burnt umber paint. As you see there, I went ahead and clipped it in half. And I'm just going to place that at the front of our little scenery right here. Does it make sense? I don't know. I'm going to make it make sense. I just hope you guys are receiving all of this, because, woo, baby, it was a lot going on here. So then I go back to my little swing, not swing, and I'm going to cover that in some moss, because I already warned you guys, we're dealing with a lot of moss here today. All right? Lot of moss. All right. So once I do that, I'm going to, just cover that all the way across. I don't think I put any on the little seat part because I'm going to glue something on there. I'm going to glue a little bunny on there. But see, isn't that cute? That's so cute. It's so cute. All right, and then there's the bunny. Okay, so then we're going to put that right up at the top. Don't know why we decided to put it there, but that's where we're going to put it. I feel like I probably should have put it at the end of the pathway, but because I had that little half wheel right there, I felt like I had a lot going on. So I decided to put it up there. And there you have it. But see, it's coming together. It looks like a little something, something. I don't know. I don't know. Y'all know my story. When we're doing these videos, it's a story of I don't know. So then we had this leftover plug piece, right? And I was like, okay, let's take this and we're going to cover that in some moss and kind of make like, you know, like a moss covered part of a tree that fell or something. A log. I don't know. I just decided to put moss on it because, again, I already warned you guys, I put moss on everything. Okay, this is almost on the level of butterflies. When you guys know when I go hard with the butterflies, I did that with the moss. So yes, judge me if you will, but on this channel we judge not. Remember that, okay? So I'm just covering it up. And no rhyme, no reason. I don't know why I showed so much of that, but I'm just patting that on in there, trying not to burn my fingers because, you know, hot glue and moss, it hurts if you touch it. So I have that other little bunny. Don't know where I'm going to put him just yet. So we're going to set him to the side. Then we come in with some more moss. You guys have been warned. It's a lot, okay? At first, I was just going to put a few little patches here, a few little patches there, and then look what happened. It went patch-palooza crazy, okay? But I kept going. So, here we go. All right, so it's not looking horrible, but it's a lot of moss, I must say. That's a lot of moss, okay? Moss. Mucho moss, okay? So then here's where I go in with my little tidbits because I have some rocks, right? And I don't know where they are. So I was like, okay, we're going to take and put these little cut up tidbits around as if they're like little sticks and stuff in the middle of the moss. Okay, and I just randomly start putting them in. Now we're going in with this paper plates, or these paper plates. Now, originally I had cut the white from around it, I trimmed the white away because I thought I was going to use the whole thing, but the gold on the plate was like really throwing your girl off. So I was like, yeah, no, we're not going to go with that. So I decided to cut a piece of this, and I'm going to go in with my, it's like a bluish color. It's called Tide something paint, and it's by FolkArt. And it's a very brightish blue color. And so I was like, okay, our little scenery needs like a little pond or a lake or something. So I think it's more of a pond. It's a fairy pond, okay? So that's what we did with that paper plate. We just cut it out. No rhyme, no reason. And I'm going to see that little empty patch right there. I'm going to cut it down to size to fit up in there. And we're just going to glue that down with some hot glue. And then we're going to go in with, what? Some more moss. Y'all guessed it. Hello. Y'all so smart, Lovies. But it's looking cute. I know it looks like a lot is going on here because a lot is going on here. So then I decided to put some moss on top of the house because why not? I mean, I came this far, I might as well keep going. So I kept going. So then I just said, okay, we need to break up all this green. And well, I went in with some of these colorful daisies, and I'm just randomly putting them on there. And I did add another little bunny in there, and you'll see it all in the final reveal, Lovies. So please stick around for that. That is just how I like to showcase my items at the end of each video. So there you have it. And we're going to move on to project number 2. Okay, so then we're taking one of these little flower cutouts that you can find at Dollar Tree. I'm painting it in the color White by Waverly. Then I'm going to take some of this, I think it's called Conservatory color, and that's by Fusion Paint. And I'm going to take 5 of these extension cords that I turned into teardrops, right? And I'm going to paint them in that green color. I give them about 2 coats of that paint, and it really didn't need it. But I just, you know, I figure if I squeeze it too hard, if it chips, yada yada yada. I didn't want anything to happen. So next I'm going in with two of my half beads here. I don't know the size of them, I'm sorry. And I painted them in some of the pink dream color by that using that plaster paint. So what you see right here, I'm doing is I'm taking some Mod Podge and I'm covering that flower after it dried from me painting it. I'm just giving it a nice coat of Mod Podge, and of course we're going to be doing some decoupage today, lovies. I hope you don't mind. So then I have this beautiful napkin in my stash that I don't remember where I got it from. I almost feel like I got it from Bristol Farms, but I honestly can't remember. But I'm using some painter's tape to separate the plies. The first one came off really easy, and the second one I just put the tape on my fingers and they separated perfectly for us. Then we're going to take our mini heat press and we're just going to press out those creases from the fold. And once we do that, we're going to go ahead and apply this back to that or to the flower. Right, so now what we're going to do is go in with some parchment paper. We're going to lay that right over the top, trying very careful not to move that napkin around because it was right to the edge of that flower. And then we go in with our mini heat press, sorry guys, and we're just going to run that heat over it a few seconds, and that's just going to reactivate that Mod Podge and give us a nice crisp finish. And I love this napkin. I love the way this came together. Okay, so then I go in with my finger sander to remove that excess paper. And once I do, what happened there? Oh, it wouldn't, okay, I don't know. Anyway, we get that all nice and cleaned up for you guys. And again, I have to say this came out really pretty. Now I will admit that this flower was a bit warped, but hey, I had to keep going. So now we're going to start to assemble our little teardrops. Now, what we're going to attempt to make here is a dragonfly. All right, I'm just puncturing that hole there, or opening up that hole where the napkin is covering. And like I said, yeah, we're going to try to make a dragonfly. I thought this was a cute idea. Like I said, I just put these together. I had different things in mind. I was going to make an actual flower with them, and then because I did not cut them out correctly or all the same length, you know, since I eyeballed it, it didn't work out. So I was like, okay, now I have all these little teardrops. What am I gonna do with it? So I was playing around with it, and voila, we came up with a dragonfly. And here we are. All right, so I'm just gonna glue them onto the flower, and using some hot glue, and that's it. And then we're going to just go in and add in my half beads. I don't know if I took you through gluing each of these down. Okay, yeah. So I go in with the half bead, and I'm going to take one of these teeny tiny little macrame rings that I've had in my stash forever. I did get those off of Amazon, but yeah, off of Amazon. And I don't know the size of them. So then I decided to take a floral piece. Now I kind of left it right like this. I think it would have totally looked like a dragonfly right there. But I decided to add a piece of floral in there, and because it kind of matched the napkin. And I don't know. I just thought it was cute. I don't know if it really was or not, but I just rolled with it. And that is it for that piece. Now what I'm going to go ahead and do is add back in the jute string that I removed from it earlier off camera. And all I did there was just take a little bit of hot glue to bring the edges, not the edges, but bring the ends together because they were a little frayed. And that's just to help push it through that hole without making a mess of it. And then I just tie it off in a simple knot and add a little hot glue in there just to make sure it stays in place. And I'm going to trim away any excess from that as soon as I find my scissors. There we go. And then what we're going to do after that, if I'm not mistaken, we're just going to go in and we're going to add a piece of my Catholic Joe jute twine bow. here. And after I fluffed that out a little bit, I wanted to keep it simple. I didn't want to take away from the dragonfly, but you guys have to let me know though if it really looks like a dragonfly or not. I'm telling you, you know, I was getting grief about the band-aids last month, but I mean, I've never ever worked with with an extension cord before, so this is all I could come up with. But let me know how you guys feel about that one. Now here is our final project of today. We're going to use one of these little wood palettes that you can find at Dollar Tree. I am going to stain that in the color Burnt Umber. I'm taking two more of these macrame rings that I glued together, painted them in the color black. Sorry about that, that was all over the place, but here we are. Here's a larger macrame ring that I painted in white. Okay, and I'm just going to glue that to the bottom of this hanging palette. I'm so sorry about that jump around there, guys, but I hope you was able to follow it. So I'm going to add that right to the bottom there, and then I'm going to take two more of my little teardrop extension cord thingies that I made, and we're going to put those right above the macrame ring. Okay, now I didn't glue them like evenly, so one is a little willy wonky, but it's okay. Like yeah, it's okay. We're making a little bunny, okay? So I also painted those in that same color white. I believe it's the Victorian Lace by Fusion Paint I used on this particular one. Then I have the two little smaller macrame rings. I wanted to give my bunny some glasses. So this is where I realized, I'm like, oh, the ears are not working here. But I just kept rolling because I was already invested and it was too late to turn around. So I just put them on where I thought they'd be a good fit. And then I'm going to take that smaller half bead that I painted earlier in the pink dream color, and I'm just going to put that right at the bottom there under the glasses for the bunny nose. I wish I could have added some teeth to him or her, but you know, I could. It wasn't working. I was going to use the extension cord to make some teeth, but I didn't like the way it looked. It looked weird. In here I was trying to see if maybe I could add some whiskers, but it didn't work. So here I'm going to go in with a bow, another of my Kathy Jo bows, and I'm just going to put it right on top up there. And I think this came out so adorable. Like, it's so simple, but again, using extension cord was, you know, I don't know if I transformed this enough, but hey, I did what my brain told me to do. There it is. So once I get that going, I'm going to take this little Hello Spring sign that you can find at Hobby Lobby. I painted that in the same pink color as the little half bead. Then I had some of these little rabbit feet. I don't know where they came from. They were in my stash, but I cut them in half, painted them in that white color, and I added them to the bottom of this little sign. And that is it for this project, guys. And here we are with the final reveal, lovies. And if you are still here riding with me, thank you so much. I appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. I don't know if you guys had a favorite of today, but if you did, let me know. And if you didn't, that's fine as well. Just let me know, how did I do using the must-use items, which was a plate, extension cord, and styrofoam. So in project number 1, I did use all 3 items, and then I just decided to add in the other 2 projects just to give you guys some different inspiration. So even if you don't have those cinder blocks, keep in mind that you can use the styrofoam blocks that you can find at Dollar Tree and make your own version of this. And if you're not comfortable using extension cords, you could definitely use some type of jute rope. And don't forget, guys, that I am participating in the open playlist for Just Our Imagination. I will have the host and co-host information in my description box below. So stop by and tell them I said hello, because I know you're going to have some good talent out there, as well as that playlist. That playlist is going to be awesome. I already know it. So tell the girls I'll be by, or guys, if we have any joining us this month, that I'll see them in just a minute. Hugs and kisses. XOXO. Bye.